Hello students, good morning. How are you all? I hope all of you are very good and safe at home. So this is your science teacher Vandana welcomes you again. In the previous class, we have completed the basic introduction of sorting material into groups. What do you mean by sorting? Sorting means separating the molecules, separating the materials into particular further groups so that we can easily identify them according to their shape, according to their color, according to their appearance, according to their uses. Basically, two types of materials are there, natural and man-made. Natural, as the name suggests, we get from the nature, and man-made that we get from the artificial, or you can say made in the industrial or by using chemical processes. After that we have discussed that why it is important to classify or separating the material into groups, because it is very much easy for us. It makes our life comfortable, as well as we can easily segregate the particular biodegradable and non-biodegradable materials, and according to their properties, according to their uses, our life will become very easy, because so many things we are using in our life, different materials we are using, like we are using different glass tumblers for drinking the water, for you can say holding the liquid, for anything we are using different cooking utensils to cook the food. So all these are the different materials, and their uses are also very much different. So today we are going to discuss the different materials and their different properties one by one. So let's start. So today we are going to discuss the properties of material. We know that we make many objects around us for various purposes in homes, transport and industries. And these objects are made up of one or more materials. So different materials have different properties. So in this module we will learn about some properties of material that decides their uses. Means for example, we make a tumbler of materials like glass, plastic or metal or steel, because these have the ability to hold the water properly, or they have the property of holding the water. We cannot make tumbler out of a piece of cloth. Why? Obviously, because a piece of cloth cannot hold the water. Water will just leak out of the piece of cloth. Similarly, we make cooking utensils of materials such as copper, aluminium and their alloys like stainless steel. Why? Because these materials are good conductor of heat. What are good conductors of heat? Good conductors of heat means those materials which allow heat to pass through them, that are called good conductors of heat. We do not make cooking utensils of paper like material. Why? Because they will burn out as soon as we kept on the burning stove. So all these are the materials having different properties. We use gold metal for making ornaments because it has shiny appearance, or you can say luster. We use steel for making builds and bridges because it is very much hard and strong. We use cotton for filling our pillows. So all these are very much different properties. So according to this, to make an object we choose a material depending on, first one is the properties of material, second the purpose for which the object is to made, and the third one is there are many properties of material that decide its uses. So we are going to discuss it one by one. The materials are classified on the basis of certain properties, like the materials are classified better. These are classified according to the properties. So first one is appearance. Appearance means how the particular object look different from each other. There are so many materials like iron, like copper, aluminium. These are having shiny appearance, or you can say these are lustrous. Lustrous means having shiny appearance, or in Hindi they are called chamak. So on the other hand, if you look at the piece of wood, it does not have any shiny appearance. Wood has a dull appearance. So on the basis of their appearance, the materials are classified into two main groups: materials having luster or material having no luster. Those materials which are having shiny appearance are said to have lustrous. For example, gold, silver, copper, diamond, steel, or you can say aluminium, iron. Although iron, copper, aluminium lose their shininess, why, and appear dull due to the action of air and moisture on the surface. So we should look for the luster on the freshly cut surface of such metals, or after rubbing their surface with a sandpaper. Another example is those material which having dull appearance like paper, wood, chalk, cotton, rubber, sand. All these are the materials which are having dull appearance or they are having no luster. So this is first property, that is appearance. Second is hardness or softness. What hardness or softness means, suppose if we press a piece of iron metal, if we press a piece of iron metal with our hands, we will find that it cannot be compressed at all. A piece of iron can also be not be cut, bent or scratched easily. But we can easily cut the candle wax. We can easily bend the candle wax and even we can easily scratch it. Another example I am giving you is sponge. A piece of sponge can also be cut, bent or scratched easily. So all these are the materials which are hard as well as soft. So this is the second property. Material which can be compressed or scratched easily are soft. As you can see, these are the examples of soft materials like sponge, cotton, candle wax. All these are the materials which we can easily cut, which we can easily bend or which we can easily scratch also. Okay beta. Third property is, these are the materials which are difficult to compress or scratch, like you can say iron, stone, or even the teeth, bone. All these are very hard materials. Third property is classification of materials on the basis of their solubility in water. What does solubility means? Solubility means when you completely dissolve sugar and salt in the water, that is called solubility. Water dissolves a large number of materials, but it can not dissolve all the materials. So according to the solubility, we are differentiated the metal which are soluble in water and materials which are insoluble in water. Like you can add salt, you can make the lemon juice dissolved completely in water, they are said to be soluble in water. Another example is the material which are insoluble, like you can take sand, stone, or glass, plastic, paper, mustard oil, different oils. These are insoluble in water, they cannot dissolve completely, instead they make a separate layers. That means they are insoluble in water. Even you continuously stirring, they are not soluble, so these are insoluble in water. So that is why, like solids and liquids, gases too can be easily soluble or insoluble in water. Means some gases dissolve in water whereas other gases do not dissolve in water. Means oxygen gas dissolve in water. Water usually has small quantities of certain gases dissolved in it. The most important gas is oxygen. Oxygen gas is soluble in water. That is why the aquatic plants and animals which live in the water use the dissolved oxygen gas for respiration. Oxygen gas dissolved in water is very important beta for the survival of aquatic animals and plants. Why? Because carbon dioxide gas is also dissolved in water. That is, carbon dioxide gas is also soluble in water. So plants which live in water, they use the carbon dioxide gas for making the food, and this process is known as photosynthesis. So the two examples of gases which do not dissolve in water are nitrogen and methane. If I am asking, the two example of gases which do not dissolve in the water are nitrogen and methane, because these are insoluble in water. Okay. So third is solubility. Now the next one is classification of material on the basis of their densities. What is density? Or their heaviness or lightness, or you can say floating or sinking in water according to the density. A substance which is heavier than water is said to have higher density. As you can see, these are all the examples of different materials. Like if you place the coin in the water, it can float or it can sink in the water. Like iron nail, like stone, leaves, all these are the examples of floating or sinking materials. A material which is heavier than water should have higher density than water, and material which is lighter than water is said to have low density than water. Means the material which sinks in water is heavier than water, like iron nail. like aluminium, copper, gold, stone, glass, chalk, soil. All these are having which sinks in the water. It means that is they have heavy density, they are heavier than water. Similarly, wood, plastic, dry leaves, ice, oil, these are all lower than, they float on the water, that is why they are lighter than water. You can easily do the experiment by putting them in the bowl. So some of these materials float on the surface of water like dried leaves and cork, and some of the materials completely sink in the water like iron nail, like the key, like coin, stone. All these are the materials which sinks in the water, means they are heavier than water. It is basically according to the densities. Density means beta how the heaviness or lightness of material is. Okay, this is density. So I hope this is clear to every one of you. Next is transparency, translucency and opaqueness. Means according to the material, the property of material due to which we can see it clearly, that is called transparency. Means those material which allow, through which we can see clearly, are called transparent material. The transparency of a material is decided by the extent up to which things can be seen through. Means for example, if we can see clearly through a glass window, so glass is a transparent material. Similarly, air, water, some plastics like polythene, groundnut oil, all these are the transparent materials. We can see clearly through the transparent material. Another is those material which we cannot see clearly are called translucent material. For example, tracing paper, oiled paper, tissue paper, muddy water, and even clouds. So these are all the example of translucent materials. These are the some material through which things cannot be seen, that are called opaque materials, like cardboard, like brick, like the heavy objects through which we cannot see at all, that are called opaque objects. Okay, all these are the examples of opaque objects: cardboard, wood, metal, brick, stone, book, cotton. All these are the examples of opaque objects. So according to the transparency, these are also some material through which things can be seen but not clearly. I told you these are called translucent material: oily paper, grease paper, tissue paper, muddy water. All these are the examples of translucent material. So these are the some properties according to which we can easily identify the different types of materials, different type of objects and their uses. So in this chapter we have learned some properties of material that decide their uses, like appearance, hardness, solubility, floating or sinking in water, and transparency. That's it for today. All of you just revise your topic, and if you are having any doubt, then please free to ask in our class. Thank you so much.